What if I told you there's a lottery ticket, but unlike the lottery, it doesn't expire, it doesn't cost you your future, and you can't actually lose? Now that ticket, well, it's zero point zero 0.01 worth of Bitcoin. Now right now, for around about $1,000, less than most people spend on a weekend getaway, you can hold a tiny fraction of the hardest money in history. And here's the kicker. It's not a gamble. It's an asymmetric bet. Small downside because you risk very little, but infinite upside because you preserve your future and maybe even change your life. Now stick with me because by the end of this, you'll see why zero point zero 0.01 worth of Bitcoin isn't like buying a Powerball ticket. It's like quietly front-running the entire financial system. Now, most people think Bitcoin is risky, but what they don't see is that not owning it is the bigger risk. Because when you stack even a small amount, zero point zero 0.01 worth of Bitcoin, which is 1 million satoshis, you're not just betting on Bitcoin going to the moon, you're betting against the guaranteed collapse of the money you're holding now. Now, the lottery ticket isn't Bitcoin. The lottery ticket is staying in fiat and hoping it holds its value. See, think about a lottery ticket. You spend a few bucks for a tiny chance to win big, and 99% of the time it expires worthless. Now flip that, because Bitcoin is like a lottery ticket with no expiration date, one that stacks value the longer you hold it. So instead of buying hope, you're buying a slice of digital land in a finite universe. And unlike a lottery ticket, the odds are backed in your favor, because Bitcoin doesn't need to win for you to benefit. Fiat is already losing by design. So let's go ahead and strip away the noise. What is your actual downside with zero point zero 0.01 worth of Bitcoin? Well, if you buy 1 million sats today, the worst case scenario is it goes to zero and you lose the cost of a new phone, a couple of nights out, or a weekend vacation. But now look at the upside. In a decade, if Bitcoin simply continues its historical trajectory, outpacing inflation, attracting institutional demand, replacing weak fiat currencies, well, that same zero point zero 0.01 worth of Bitcoin could buy you what $100,000 or more buys today. Now, why is that? Well, scarcity. There are only 21 million Bitcoin. The global population is 8 billion people. So even if it was shared equally, which it won't be, everyone would only get 0.0026 worth of Bitcoin. That means that 0.01, a million sats, is already more than 4 times the fair share of the entire world's population. And here's the part most people miss. There are 58 million millionaires on Earth. Not even half of them could own a full Bitcoin. So what happens when the wealthy realize this? Well, they start buying fractions, 0.1, 0.01, and even smaller pieces. Now, when that rush begins, 0.01 worth of Bitcoin stops being affordable and it becomes the new full coin, the minimum stake in the future monetary system. Now, meanwhile, your fiat is guaranteed to lose because the dollar has already lost 97% of its value since 1913. Inflation isn't 2%, it's 7 to 10% in the real world, and your savings account is just a melting ice cube. So, let's go ahead and be clear. The real lottery ticket is working 40 plus years in a system that silently robs you. The real gamble is holding cash and hoping it doesn't collapse. Now, Bitcoin flips that, because even if you're wrong, your downside is tiny. But if you're right, and if Bitcoin continues to eat away fiat, continues to attract institutional money, and continues to become the global reserve asset, well, the upside is life-changing. And it doesn't require a full coin, because 0.01 worth of Bitcoin, which is 1 million satoshis, could be the bridge between the life you're in now and the life you wish you could build. Now, this is called an asymmetric bet. You're risking something small today to avoid the guaranteed loss of doing nothing and to capture the exponential upside of the future. So it's kind of like buying digital land in Manhattan in 1900, like owning Amazon stock in 1997, and like holding gold before the world went off the gold standard. Except this time it's global, borderless, and unstoppable. So let me go ahead and ask you this. What's riskier? Spending $1,000 today on 1 million satoshis, an asset with a 14-year track record of beating every currency on Earth, or saving the same 1,000 in a currency guaranteed to lose 10% of its value each and every year? Because here's the truth, Bitcoin doesn't need to go to $1 million for this to matter, because fiat is the thing collapsing. And in that reality, well, 1 million satoshis isn't a gamble, it's an insurance. It's the only lottery ticket where even if you don't hit the jackpot, you still win by opting out of a broken system. So here's your choice. You can keep gambling on fiat, hoping it won't betray you, or you can make the smallest asymmetric bet of your life and quietly stack 1 million satoshis while you still can. Because this isn't about hitting the moon, it's about not drowning when the tide goes out. Now, if this woke you up even just a little, then go ahead and hit subscribe right now. Because here, we don't play the losing lottery, we stack sovereignty, one sat, one block, one future-proof move at a time. Now, if you want to go deeper into this, my ebook Orange Pilled is linked down below, and it's a wake-up call they never wanted you to read. Now, I do also have to chuck this disclaimer in here as well, and I highly suggest just pausing the video and having a little read. Now, if you've made it this far, and if you're looking for something else to watch, then click right here and have a watch of this.